Hello and welcome to my heavy metal kitchen. It's been a very unexpected, surreal kind of weekend here. I just want to tell you a little story, and I also want to talk about something different related to music. So here we go. Rocker friend of mine says, "Hey Nina, do you know, let's call him Joey Slick?" "No, I don't." "Oh, he's a bass player." And I think, okay, well, what do you want to know? So he says, "I want to know if he sings, and I want to know what his situation is." He's apparently a studio musician. He works and subs for different bands. Okay. So I think to myself, all right, no problem. I'm just going to reach out and just do a fan thing and say, "Hey, I like your stuff. What you doing? Blah, blah, blah." He answers me back. And great. And then I start thinking about him, and there's something oddly familiar. I can't put my finger on it. And I think about this concert I went to, thinking about 2003. And at that time, I was living in New York, and I was single, and I met somebody at a place called the Rec Room, one of the last rock clubs in New Jersey. And we went on a couple of dates, and we ended up at Jones Beach seeing Aerosmith and the KISS co-headlining tour. Do you remember that one? I don't remember whatever happened to him. Nothing was bad. It was good. We went on a couple of dates. But I knew it. I said, this has got to be the same guy. Too much of it was bringing back just a little bit of memory. So I reached out. I said, "By the way, did you go to the Aerosmith KISS co-headlining tour in 2003? And he replies back, "Oh my gosh, are you the girl I went with?" I said, "Yeah." And there we go. And it was so weird because there's people in your life you just, for whatever reason, you forget about or something. And yeah, really nice guy. But he remembered my roommate who was in Beatlemania, and he actually brought him a record album, and I totally forgot about all of that. He remembered little details like that. So it was nice to catch up, and it's just so weird how you can reconnect with people. So I hope to do an interview with him soon. I really don't like doing interviews, and I don't really want to do them unless it's something I really feel strongly about. That's just me. So you can wait on that one. And another thing is I want to talk about musical equipment. Now, I went and I bought a acoustic guitar. Apparently the owner of this guitar lived down the street and was willing to meet me at the Turkey Hill convenience store. For 20 bucks, I can get their acoustic guitar. It looked decent shape. I just wanted something to noodle around with. I do know a few chords I've played for you here on the channel. So this is what it is, okay? It's made in Korea, I believe. I tuned it. It doesn't stay in tune. It just sounds awful. Now it's out of tune, but it goes out of tune very quickly. See what's going on here? I need to change the strings, but look at that string there. It's not aligned right, and it's causing a problem, the intonation. So, where do I buy strings? Let's go on Temu. Excuse me, not Temu, Shein. It's like a step up from Temu, I guess. And I said, well, fuck it. They've got everything here. I bet you they have guitar strings. So I bought one set of guitar strings, one set, okay? And okay, here's one set. Guess what they send me? One set, two set, three set, and a bag of all this stuff. I got a capo. I got a bunch of guitar picks. Look at this. For $1.93. All of that. $1.93. Whether this is any good, I don't know. But yeah, if you want guitars, and I don't know how good they are, but they feel good. They look good. Take a look. They came like this. There's the bag of stuff. $1.93, you can't beat it, okay? I know we're not supposed to be buying from those places, but why not? Less than $2, I got all that stuff. I think that's a pretty good deal. Speaking about money and music, I don't know about everyone that's watching this, but if you're a musician, I'm assuming you're about my age. I look at the analytics sometimes and I think, what are you doing with all your musical equipment? You're not accumulating anymore, I assume, or maybe you are, or maybe you're trying to unload some of this stuff. Now, I was talking to my friend, actually the roommate that I had when I went to this concert I was talking about, and he was with Beatlemania, and apparently this guy, I'll call him Joey Slick, was pretty taken by him and actually brought him a Beatlemania album of the cast of Beatlemania when he came to the door to pick me up for this concert. I reached out to my old roommate and I said, guess who I just reconnected with last night? And I said, do you remember getting this album? And he said he couldn't remember either. So I guess even our long-term memories are failing in some way. And I do vaguely remember him bringing that record album, to my roommate at the time. So anyway, you remember certain things and you forget a lot. I just thought that was a cool story. I never thought I'd talk to him again. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a Zoom call with him and just to see what he's doing now, because I'm curious, to be honest with you, because I remember him being in an 80s tribute band, guitar player at the time. And apparently he's moved on and really done a working musician's job traveling the world. And I don't want to tell you who he is. I'll save that for the next video. But anyway, about this musical equipment, this guitar, which pretty much sucks. I was telling him about it, my old roommate, and he said to me, you know what, Nina, I'm getting older. I need to unload some of this stuff. I've checked out places like Reverb and Marketplace. I can't, the fees are just ridiculous. And what I have is some pretty high-end stuff. He said, Nina, you're really good. You know people, and I don't want to go through those sources. I don't want to go through Reverb, and I don't want to deal with this, basically. So he said, I know you help a lot of people, and you've helped rockers and things like that, but I actually want to pay you for this. So how about you try to sell these items, and I will give you commission. Well, that's not too bad. So that's the deal. I'm going to make a page. I don't know if I'm going to make a page or how exactly I'm going to do this, but I'm going to be putting things up like, let's see, I wrote it down. Gibson Les Paul, 1975, Black Ovation Adamus, and a Rickenbacker bass, 1971. And well, he's also got recording equipment and a bunch of speakers and amps. I don't know whether people are interested in this stuff or not, or if anyone here on this channel is, but I'm going to help him try to sell some of it. If you're interested, let me know, okay? And I will get some pictures up, and I will probably make this on a different page, all this equipment. And the thing I love about him asking me to do this is that he trusts me. And I think that's something that's really missing in this society we live in. And I understand we have to be careful of people, I really do. But I think it's to our detriment that we're not trusting or more trustful of people. Because ultimately, I don't know about you, I like to treat people the way I want to be treated. And it just makes me feel, really warms my heart that he trusts me. And he wants to give me something for it. I've never asked for anything from anybody that I've helped or promoted or anything like that. I do it because I love it. This genre and all that, I talk about it a lot. And I just don't get that feeling from other things. However, I'm going to tell you that short that I put up yesterday with Louis Cardenas. Some people were saying in the comments that how did he get all the money to make that video? That video was expensive, and yes, it was. I did some research. $500,000 for that video with the dinosaurs playing the guitar and all that stuff. Now, he was in a band called Renegade, and apparently that group was pretty much blackballed from the LA rock scene, and they were considered like a Latino kind of Van Halen, and they ended up making it big in South America, Mexico, and Japan. And they actually have gold records, and I would not have known that. So there you go. There's the answer to that. And I watched this one MTV, I guess it was an MTV International video of a show, and I want to share a little bit with you. I love this song, and you could definitely tell that they love the 70s because you could hear it, and it doesn't have the same sound as a lot of the hair bands did in the 80s. And you'll know what I mean when you listen. Check it out. I'm digging this song, and what do you think? Do you think it's any good? And here's my other question. Is there anything that hasn't been done in rock, heavy metal genre, in your opinion? Because I feel like it's all been done. I feel like the Eddie Van Halens and who's going to top that? And how are you going to make it different? That's my question. Another question, Jimi Hendrix or Jimmy Page? Do you have a favorite? And the last thing I'm going to say is, well, I'm not going to go into that because I'm going to get too off track, but I hope you all have had a great weekend. I'm going to try to not edit much of this video and just kind of put it up the way it is. And give me your thoughts on the classic guitars and selling online. What do you think the best way of doing that is? I know a lot of musicians, and perhaps I can make a sale with them. And like I said, some of these people that sell things, and I've seen this on sites where they're trying to sell guitars that are, people want to get I want to get what I paid for. Between the fees and what have you, and the shipping, you're not going to get what you paid for it. So just take it as a loss and get rid of them if that's what you want to do. You end up with all this stuff, and do you really need it? Are you using it? Is it serving you? Because if it's not, you should sell it. Maybe somebody like my son would want to buy it. You never know. There's young generations that they might be interested in it. But as far as selling a used guitar on Reverb, it just doesn't make any sense. You might as well buy a new one. That's just my 2 cents. Hopefully in the next video I will be cooking something, maybe something sweet this time. Enough with the all-in-one meals. I want to make something sweet, a dessert. In fact, I know what I'm going to make. It's something called, and maybe you remember this growing up, it's something called icebox cake. Has anyone ever heard of icebox cake? Because that's the recipe I'm going to make the next time I do a cooking video. So I hope everyone's well. Take care. I'll see you next time. Have a great week. Bye-bye.